Hi, welcome to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are doing okay. My name is Luben. I make videos like this based on health wise relationship. I also give medical advice. I'm a doctor in training for those of you who are new to the channel. So in this video, I'll be talking about my thoughts and what I think about Andrew Tate. It's one of my subscribers. He told me to make a video like, what do I think about Andrew Tate? Now, for those of you who don't really know Andrew Tate, he's a very wealthy person. He has been around for some time now, although he just recently became a viral person around the whole globe. His videos and clips, started going viral over the few months. So in those clips he said a lot of things that to most people it could hurt their feelings, and to some it motivated them. So for me personally, that's what my subscriber asked me to make a video about him, like what do I think about Andrew Tate. So if you are new to the channel, subscribe for more content like this. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that anytime I release a video like this you can check it out. Now, what do I think about Andrew Tate? Now, I won't lie. I've not really been the type of person that keep up with a lot of people like that. Because I'm a busy person, so I don't really have that time. But at least for the first few weeks, few months actually, that I've been constantly on YouTube and all of that, I could see a lot of his clips, and there are a lot of things that he said that I wouldn't condemn. I wouldn't say it's bad. Now, some of the things that I will agree with him on is, in today's world, for example, men are becoming more feminine. Now, whenever a man comes out here to tell other men that, listen, you have to make sure you are the man, you have to make sure you stand your ground, you don't have to be what the society is trying to make you be, what happens is this: there are a lot of backlash the person gets, right? Sometimes you get banned, sometimes you get eliminated from these platforms, or sometimes worse, you get a lot of attack from different people, from different kinds of people around the globe. So about that fact, there is true. The society we live in these days is beginning to make men feel that it's okay for them to exhibit some feminine trait. Or some people might tell you, as a man, it's okay for you to cry in public, it's okay for you to show weakness, it's okay for, well, those things are not bad per se, but those are not masculine traits. Now, if you go back to history, let's say if you have been watching historic videos of movies that was based on historic events, you will discover that men were not really the type that would show weakness. Even when it was at the point where they could show weakness, it was never like that. For instance, if you had watched Vikings, there's a particular series called Vikings. Now, Ragnar, there's a popular king in that Viking called Ragnar. In his final death, if you notice, he went to the king by himself, right? So he knew very well that if he goes to that particular king, Wessex, the king of Wessex, he will be killed, he's been murdered. So the king, because he was a friend to him before, he didn't want to kill him, so he had to give him to another king of England at that time. And this king of England wanted to kill Ragnar in the worst painful way possible. And from that video, you will notice the dog a kind of a deep hole, right? Like a well, and then in that well there are different kinds of snakes, poisonous snakes. At that moment, he didn't start crying and then begging for mercy and then trying to make it look like the whole world has come to him. At that point, he was still strong, he was still bold, he was still confident, he was still trying to threaten the king, telling him that his death comes without an apology, and this kind of debt that he is giving to him, he will repay it. And then towards that particular season, you notice that the sons of Ragnar went back to avenge his death. Now, if these movies, countless of times, if you watch Troy, if you watch movies that are based on historic events about men, you'll discover that men were not the type of people that would do certain things in society these days is trying to make men feel they can do. It's not been like that. Now, it does not mean as a man, if you cry, you are not a man. It doesn't mean as a man, if you show weakness, you are not. But it is not in your best interest that you show that, most especially to a lady. Now, women might tell you, well, it's okay for you to cry, it's okay for you to this, but it's just something they say, but then means something else. If you are with it, let's say, for example, as a husband, have you ever gone to your wife countless of times and then you cry to her, telling her you don't know what to do, you are down, you are this, you are blah 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 blah? How do you think your wife is going to view you? Now, yes, women said it's okay to cry, but she's not really going to have that full trust in you. She's not really going to believe that you are the type of a capable man that will be strong even in hard times. Guess what? At the end of the day, she might probably go to someone who is much capable, or who is more stronger, who is more emotionally stronger than you, and she would probably be with him. And then you'll be asking yourself, where did you go wrong? No, you did not go wrong. You just did something that was not masculine. So I agree with him on that part. And then he was also talking about security wise, like women in today's world, right? The modern women, they are made to believe that they can compete with men, or they are the same thing with men. It is not like, I am from an African country. I'm from Nigeria. I'm shooting this video from Nigeria actually. So in our country, if you bring something like that to our country, most times people will laugh at you, trying to make women think they are equal with men. It's not like that. And most of that narrative is usually pushed much in the Western country. Here in Africa, it's not like that, because it is believed that a man is the head, and then the woman has to be protected by the man, has to be provided for the man, has to be protected by the man, not the other way around. Not that it should be a competition. So in the Western world, it has become something like this feminism. Although feminism itself is not bad, it's just the way it has been polluted and diluted in today's world to become something else. So in the Western world, it has been in such a way that the women are now competing with the men. So it's kind of as if the man say this, then the woman also feels she can do this. But if you want to go back to the gender roles of what a woman should do and a man should do in a relationship, in a marriage, you will notice that each of these people, this category, have specific roles and specific things they can achieve. It's not the same. So the narrative that men and women are the same, I find it very, very funny, because from the country I'm coming from, if something like that does not even exist at all. Although it does to some certain extent, only if the men allow themselves to become like that, but it's very rare. So, and then it's a very big issue in the Western world. Like, I find it so it's somehow, and then I know this video, someone might probably attack me for saying this. I guarantee you that. And it's just something that, if sometimes I say, okay, why these women, why can't they just come to Africa for like 2 days and then try to live that kind of a life? It will be very difficult for them. And then the third thing that he said, he talked about depression. Now, this topic has made him, but to some people, they've come at him in so many different angles. He said depression is all about your mentality. Now, I'm not saying there are certain things you go through in life that might be the same with other people. There are some people that they've gone through a lot of trauma. They've gone through certain worst things in life. They've lost people. They've lost their loved ones. They've gone through pain, a lot of pain. So they are most likely to feel depressed. But he said one thing. He said, you only get depressed when you feel like you are depressed. That's to tell you that if you believe in your mind that you are depressed, if you believe in your mindset, if your mindset, your mental state is telling you that you cannot do this, you don't worth anything, you are not good enough, you are nothing, you are trash, you are this, then definitely your body is going to respond to that. But we are talking about, how about people who have gone through real pain, who have gone through trauma, where it's normal for them to feel pain and it's normal for them to feel lonely at a certain point in time, but it's not for them to dwell on that forever. And then he said, well, if something like that has happened to you, that's in the past. So you are still living in the past instead of thinking about anxiety is in the future, why depression is in the past. So if you are depressed, it means you are still living in the past. So why live in the past when you can actually live and hope for the future? These are very strong, motivating clips. And mind you, I didn't just watch this from little small clips. There are some podcasts that I watched entirely, like 2 hours podcasts, some 1 hour podcasts. And what people do is, some people they just watch some part of his podcast, just a little clip, and then they want to base their whole, opinion of him about that. If you ask some people, why do you hate Andrew Tate? They probably will tell you they don't know. It's because everybody say they hate him, so I will hate him. But you don't really have a reason why you hate him. But why you hate him is because the society or the media is making you believe that you should hate him. Now, there are some certain things that he said though that might not really be in such a way that anybody else who want to hear, or might not be in a way that maybe you want to accept, right? So let's say we call those hard truths. So there are some hard truths that he said that might not really be in a way that you want people to say to you. But from what I've learned from this type of person like that, these are people that he's the type of person who does not cold sugar anything. If something is wrong and he needs to tell you this, he just goes straight forward and tell you the whole truth. So it might be hard to kind of accept it. But then if you always look at because I don't look at Andrew Tate at his maybe something he said wrong, or maybe he said that was not right. I always look at the positive part of the things he said. Some of the things he said, how is it true? How can it help me? How can it help someone else? That's the things that I look at. So when you sum up all these things together, you discover that Andrew Tate is not really the type of person the media is portraying him to be. He's actually helping male, and then the society does not want anybody to come out here and help the male, because the moment you do that, what happens? You are considered a misogynist. There are different type of ways they consider people who actually come out here to genuinely help the male. Well, that's my full thoughts. Not every of my thoughts about Andrew Tate, but that's just what I think about him. I think he's someone that has achieved a lot of success, and I also like the fact that he usually teaches people how to make money. Like he also helps people, not just by motivating them, he also shows them ways they can do that. You can't point 3 to 5 people on this internet that do something like that. No, you like they are not up to 5. So you just have to find a way to realize the fact that Andrew Tate is actually helping people than the way media is portraying him to be a kind of a bad person. My name is Luben. I make videos based on health. I also offer relationship advice and medical advice. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so that anytime I release a video like this, you can definitely follow up.